Hi guys, welcome back to another reaction video and thoughts here on our Eyes Your Eyes. I'm ready to watch episode 14 of Vinland Saga season 2, but before starting this video I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell, leave a like to support me. And guys, we are reaching a turning point of the story here in Vinland Saga. Let's see what's going to happen next, and let's see how the story goes on. We still have more than 10 episodes, more or less. 10 or 11, 11, yes, if we count that this is episode 14. But let's see how the story goes on. In the previous episode, we saw that this man is coming to pick Arnheid up, and we discover that she's his wife. The dark clouds are coming. Let's stay tuned and keep on watching. Are you ready to join me with this? Check it out. Oh my. Oh no. She's terrified. Yeah. Hjalti. Who's a Hjalti? Oh my. She's not that happy. Oh my. Did they have a baby? Hey, Hjalti is their son. But unfortunately, we're just the two of us. Oh my. Snake. I'm afraid that he is going to kill you. Oh my! Ah! I thought that he cut his arm. Whoa! To get her back. No. Yeah, because Ketil was sleeping with her all the time. Oh no, Einar, no. No. Ah, no, I thought that he was going against the... Yeah, but it's not none of your business, Einar. Hmm. Actually, Einar has never killed someone, so he doesn't understand how it feels. as if you think it's something easy. Ooh. Oh, a snake is something crazy. Whoa, almost. But do you think it's easy to kill Garner? I don't think so. Yeah, but he is injured from the place he was. Oh no. Be careful! Mm. But he didn't want to kill him. Oh no way, but look at... Terrible. That's so painful for her that she doesn't even want to listen. Kidnap, she's a slave. How can she? Yes. No. You can't ask that for... No, but you can't ask for this kind of thing. You can let her be a slave as much as you want, but you are not a slave of her mind. I hope they don't kill him, you know. I understand Einar. He feels impotent. No, Arnheid, you're wrong. I mean, we can change things, but let's find a way. No. I mean, I understand what she says, but you can't sit down. In fact. Mm. But he doesn't want to fight anymore. Yes, we can't wait. We were waiting for this moment. As Berkel is listening in the meantime. Yes, yes, please tell us. Who are you? We wanna know. We definitely wanna know. Okay. As always, wow. Well, it's always that the problem, eh? The ownership. Eh, we got them. Exactly, why do you always need more? Why you can't be satisfied with what you have? I agree with her. Why? But always fighting for power. But they don't need to be healthier. I mean, they're fine. They live a peaceful life. Hey, you couldn't protect him because he died. Exactly. Because when he left, the others arrived. Okay. The Vikings. Oh no, F away. Oh my. But is he dead or he just because maybe he's alive, okay? I feel you, Thorfinn. He can understand her, but even Einar. Yes. Yes. So his child is still alive somehow. He's somewhere. Ah! Oh! Oh! Oh no, 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 no. Are we sure? Okay, I mean. Ah, okay. No, no, because Knuto is coming, so this thing will repeat again. No. Oh my. I'm shocked. What does she want to do? Ah, okay. But Sverkel heard everything, so. I can't see anything. What does she want to do? Of course, he's there. She wanted to go and let her husband free. No, see, she wants to reach God. Be careful. Because it's your husband. I mean, yeah. Sometimes it's really hard to get your impulses rest. She went. So his wife is not the one he loved. Oh. Okay. Now I understand the Ketil's character even more. Mm. Oh! What the F? So she was killed too? She was killed. Oh my. Even Sverkel's background story is hard. Maybe because we lack of courage. Or we are afraid. I completely agree with this. Yes. You will regret and those scars will never go away. I think Knuto should listen to you. But there's no need of a power now. Those words were even more powerful. Oh, is she going? Arnheid, oh my. Are we sure? I have a bad feeling that she's not coming back. Oh no. I think Einar is there, waiting for her. Isn't he there? Huh? Oh no, she's by herself. Wow, guys. This episode surprised me, shocked me. I'm speechless. I will try my best to cover all the subjects involved in here. If I forget about something, let me tell you sorry for this, but I will add something extra later, maybe even when I edit the video, because these are just my first impressions that I want to share with you. I mean, when I usually do my commentary, I don't prepare anything and it's just my feelings that are going out loud and they are trying to convey your thoughts or to reach you to see if we have a more or less of the same impressions, okay? The same first impressions. But you needed to know that even if I make this commentary, and this doesn't regard to Vinland Saga only, but to all the stories that I've watched so far on the channel, and even privately, every time I watch them, my first impressions are something, and the impressions that are coming after when I rewatch certain things change the first impressions. So please enjoy these moments in which I am trying to tell you what I think, deeply think about episodes like these, because these first impressions deserve to be recorded also because of these, because once I will rewatch the story, I will probably think more deeply and I will even change my mind. Sometimes it happens, but this is how I feel right now after watching the episode. So, we finally understood the background story of Gardar and Arnheid. I was waiting for this moment, and in all the episode, everything was explained, more or less. The most important things that we needed to know, they were explained. And even in this case, I am really happy to tell you that I was wrong. I mean, I had a different vision of things about these men, this Gardar and whatever, even about Harnheid, even if partially, somehow, I was right, because they come from Sweden. I mean, it's a Nordic country, and of course, from the way they were represented, I couldn't imagine another country they were coming from. Okay, they come from Sweden, but what was really interesting here in this episode were multiple things. I started with the first one. So I was really surprised to see the face of Gardar that he was make when he could see that Arnheid couldn't touch his hand, or he couldn't do anything to take her away from there, from that context, and he couldn't protect what he left. And we all know this because of Arnheid's background story narration, when she's saying that he decided that day to go away to sail with his fellows in order to fight for iron. I mean, I was speechless to hear something like this, but I was also felt really, really sad, because the problem repeats itself. The more you have, the more you want. Unfortunately, Gardar made a wrong decision that day. He had to listen to his wife more. And unfortunately, this is not happening, because when you react about something, you don't know the consequences of your decision until you feel them, until those things are happening. When Gardar was leaving them behind, when he was leaving his village in order to gain this iron, he would have never thought that he would have become a slave, and that he would have been captured, and at the same time he would have never imagined to know that even Arnheid became a slave, that she was captured, and that she was not even so far from him, because when he reached Ketil's farm in this episode, he's saying, "Oh, I didn't expect that you were so close to me," because he didn't know where she was. Nobody told him. And fortunately, he found her. When it's too late, it's really, really hard to get back what you have lost. And unfortunately, Gardar made this mistake. When he had the chance to preserve his family, to protect his family, and to be close to them in the most needed moment, he refused to be there. And the price to pay in order to make that wrong decision was to have the present condition. Yeah, the more you have, the more you want. Absolutely true. In this episode is stated that you should be satisfied with what you have. That actually, when they tell you in this world too, in our reality, when they tell you, oh, the more you get busy, the more you work, the more you gain, so the more wealthy you become, everything seems a competition here. Every time we have to fight in order to conquer more. It doesn't matter if we are talking about lands, countries, money, wealth, in general, whatever. Our society shows us or install in our brain that we should gain more. That in order to be happier, in order to be better, we needed to gain more money, to be wealthier, to have a social status of a certain type, to have a specific job that can grant you a specific amount of money per month, otherwise it's not good. I don't want to say that this is a critique on Japan too, but I want to imagine this. Even if Yukimura probably didn't imagine this, I wanted to imagine this, because here in Japan, you have this stereotype of the man who's working hard, who's getting a specific salary, and if it's less, he's considered inferior, he's considered so bad and so poor that he can't even meet other people from other social status because he doesn't deserve that, etc., etc., etc. Yukimura is portraying in this story the exact reality that he is feeling because he is Japanese, but the reality of the world. If you have a humble job, just by calling it humble, it makes already the difference, so I'm sorry to say so, but just to let you understand what I mean. But if you have a humble job, you're not considered as much as if you're a manager of a company. You're not considered the same. So just by that, this makes you understand that differences exist in the moment in which people make differences. Because even in the Gardar case, they didn't need iron. They had enough iron. They didn't need more. And even if Gardar said that yes, we need more because we can become wealthier, but it's pointless. Why can't the people accept what they have? Why people can't be satisfied with just a small amount of money and be happy anyway? We don't need such an expensive salary to feel great, to laugh together with the people we love, to spend time together with them, to enjoy even small and little things, to create memories. We don't need lots of money. I'm talking about our reality, of course, but in the case of Gunnar, in order to be happy, he didn't need more iron, because we could see from the environment that he was living in that he was happy. He had his family, he had his friends. So at that time, when his friend was asking him help, he should have said, no, I'm happy with that. But as always, when there is the chance for human beings to become more powerful, to become more authoritative, to become stronger than others, oh, they don't refuse. But then they complain. Then they play the role of the victims. That's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, that's the leitmotif of our lives. Firstly, we want more, then we can't achieve more and we are also condemned into something else. We play the role of the victim. Why you couldn't think it before acting all of these? That's what I'm saying. Sometimes people don't remember to think before acting. And the problem is that you're going to create the problems later to you, to the people around you, etc., etc. Your environment will be destroyed. And that's what happened. Because of this lack of feelings and this will to grant more and more and more, Gardar lost his family. We don't know if their son is still alive or not, because he was taken away from the village. So we don't know if he is still alive. We don't know if their son became a warrior. We don't know anything. But they lost him. And I don't think that he will come back again. I don't know, sincerely. But what I want to say is that you, Gardar, lost the opportunity to spend a peaceful life, to spend this time with your family. And yeah, Vikings arrived that day, but if you were there, you could have protected your family and you would have felt even more satisfied than having more iron next to you or in your pockets, you know. I mean, I definitely prefer to save my family instead of save more iron, for sure. So that day, if he stayed, Arnheid didn't become a slave. He didn't become a slave. And at the same time, even his son would have not disappeared. This demon called money, called power, that is always destroying us. But as I was telling you, we can't play the role of the victims. We are culprit too when we think something like this, when we don't pay attention on the probable consequences. Because even if you don't know if it's happening or not, but at least you should pay a certain attention to these consequences that might come. But we are not able to do so. We are so poor inside sometimes that we don't even ask ourselves. We think that just because we leave this environment as it is, nothing can happen to it, nothing can change it, nothing can destroy it. No, I leave it over there, I'm coming back later. He didn't come back. And Arnheid and their child suffered a lot. So I really liked that in this episode, something like this was underlined, because even if it's always the same subject, that means being slave of power, the more you have, the more you want, we don't understand. I mean, even if these subjects are repeated over and over and over again, we don't understand them, because we still want more. So I don't know the way in which we have to express these things clearer than this, right? I don't think there is a more explicit way to say it than this. But anyway, people still don't think they understand. And unfortunately, this is because our society is bombarding our mind with these ideals, and most of the times these ideals can't be contrasted by an indoctrinated mind. And this is really hard to understand, but personally speaking, yes, I can tell you what I personally live. I don't want a super huge salary. I work, but I don't need to gain so much money to feel complete. And I feel happy. I have everything that I need. I have the love of my husband. I have my family. I have health. I enjoy cooking and enjoy eating. I have lots of hobbies. I'm happy. I'm happy enough. And I don't want more, because if I want more, it means that I'm going to lose my free time, for example. If I work more, I am not going to pay attention on things that, in my opinion, they deserve to have attention. I waste the time. Yes, it's hard to say something like this, because most people can tell me, oh, how can you say something like this? If you had the opportunity to work for more, you should have done this. No. Because if you work 14 hours per day, you waste your time. When you're gone, when you die, what are you going to take in your coffin? Do you take money with you? No. Do you take memories, or anyway, do you treasure some things that you can't pay for them? Yes. And I definitely prefer these. So I also wanted to condemn the choice Gardner made, because he had in front of himself a family that required love, that wanted love from him, and not iron, not at all. And at the same time, in this episode, Arnheid explains everything carefully. Yes, when she was asking, do you want to know more about my past? I'm like, yes, please tell us, because that's the most interesting thing. We needed to understand the characters thanks to their narration of the past events. Otherwise, we will never be able to get in touch with them. And I absolutely understand Arnheid when she says, look, I wait until the storm passes away from here. She resignated because she understood that Gardner threw this life away when he had the possibility to live it, and now she feels that she can't do anything to repair, to fix that thing. Also because she could see that in Gardner someone different. As soon as Gardner fell into this curse that he himself made to himself and his family, he transformed. He left the path in which he is smiling, in which he is happy and whatever, and he took the path of revenge, of violence, of brutal violence, because we could see that he was killing all these men one after the other one without a big deal, and he lost himself. So Arnheid feels scared, if at the same time she feels that she loves him and she missed him, but at the same time she can't recognize that man anymore. So if she is fighting, she's fighting for what? If she is including Einar and Thorfinn in these, she maybe is going to regret that she will ask them help as much as Gardner's friend asked his help, and the result was pretty miserable. So Arnheid is pretty conscious of the consequences that are happening in the case you decide for some other people. Actually, Gardner decided not just for himself, but he decided also for his family's destiny. So if we include Thorfinn and Einar in this situation, she will never forgive herself for including them, because she doesn't know what might happen. They can lose their lives, and she will feel responsible for this. So I totally agree how she learned about the mistakes her husband made, and she doesn't want to remake them by involving other people into this thing. I understand Einar and his kindness and his overprotecting feelings that he has towards her, to protect her, to save her husband, and to try the best for them in order to feel free. But you will never feel free. No matter what happens, as I told you in the previous episode, if you kill a person, you can't be free. If you kill the one who is enslaving you, you will never be free. Because you will remember what you have done, and you will remember that in order to be safe, in order to be free, you killed someone. So how can you forget that moment? You will never forget. And that's why, as soon as you kill a person, as soon as you commit that crime, you automatically chain yourself to a curse that mentally was formed by you, who created all this. So I really understand Einar. I understand Einar's pain, because he understands that Arnheid has a husband, that he can't fall in love with her, that he can't have a story with her, nothing, okay? So he was already pretty miserable in the previous episodes. Now he knows that she has a husband, that she had a child, that she lost him. And now Einar knows even the fact that she is pregnant with a Ketil's child. That it's 100% impossible for him to try to create a relationship with her, but even if he knows all these, and he's now more illusioned by the circumstances, he still wants to help her. That's why I'm saying Einar is a great character, because he can survive the pain by doing something good, by trying to do something positive. And even in this case, no matter how hard it was to get in touch with Arnheid and the impossibility for him to have a future with her, he wants to help her. His feelings are noble, but at the same time, Einar is too impulsive like her husband was, and he's not paying attention to the consequences. Arnheid is the character that is using reason right now, together with the Thorfinn, and it's a paradox to say something like this, because we used to see Thorfinn in a different way, but now Thorfinn has a way of thinking that is becoming so mature and so inspiring. I have such a fatigue to recognize him. I mean, he's completely different. And I am amazed by this, because when Arnheid is saying nothing can be changed, no, you're wrong. You have Thorfinn and Einar in front of you as examples of people who could make it and who could change their lives based on where they were and what they were doing, what they were deciding to do. Arnheid is unconsolable. I mean, she feels so miserable in this moment that the only thing that she can think, of course, and it's quite normal, is that there's nothing to change. Nothing can be changed once you see that you are a slave and you can't think, you can't say your opinions as much as Snake was saying, you feel impotent, you don't think that you have the right strength to do anything. Arnheid, I have to say, no, you're wrong, and in fact at the end of the episode things are changing. But as you can see, when the characters talk, they can reveal a world in front of themselves and also in front of the people who are listening to them. So I really appreciated that Arnheid decided to disclose her heart. She understood that Einar, even Sverkel, were the right people that could listen to her. Because even when you decided to open up your heart, you needed to find the proper people who are going to listen to you and understand what you mean, right? And for Arnheid, it was impossible, for example, to talk to Ketil's wife because she would have never listened to her, she would have never understood her, and she would have never felt a sort of empathy for her. But Thorfinn, Einar, and even Sverkel, they were the right people to listen to her. And that's why I was really happy to see that after such a long time, she could expel from her own soul this huge stone that was on top of her shoulders, that was pretty heavy, and she couldn't find, until this moment, someone who could share the pain. Yeah, because Thorfinn, Einar, Sverkel, they all experienced something terrible that can let them feel so empathic. I also understand now the reason why Ketil doesn't want to get rid of her. I don't know if Ketil knows her background story, and maybe she was rescued by Ketil for this purpose. I mean, even if Ketil's wife is slapping on her face, but she could find in Ketil a person who could understand her. So yeah, maybe she told Ketil this story too, and Ketil fell in love with her because they have some principles in common. Both Arnheid and Ketil want a peaceful life. They want to grow in a place where there's no violence, where they don't have to fight for anything, they accept what they have, they cultivate things, so they don't need more than what they have. And I also understand why Ketil got affectionated to her, because she could understand him, and now we understand why she could understand him, because Arnheid didn't want violence too. She preferred to live in a context that was not involving violence, harmful things and whatever. She could recognize in Ketil a dear person, I mean a person who was really kind to her. He was always disclosing his heart to her with pleasure. Yeah, the only thing that I can't imagine is that Arnheid now is pregnant. I mean, she is going to give birth to his child, and after the two sons that Ketil has, Torgil, Olmar, I'm wondering, first of all, I'm wondering if she will have a boy or a girl, but second of all, I don't know if she will survive. Okay, later I'm going to tell you other things, but now that we see that she wants to go and rescue her husband, I don't know if she will survive in this. But anyway, if she will survive, I don't know if she will have a boy or a girl. I don't know the name she will choose. Because can you imagine if she is going to give the name of her previous child just because she thinks that her child is gone? Creepy. Okay. But anyway, how is Ketil going to react about all this? I mean, Ketil's life became a complete mess. He has to think about Torgil now, about Olmar, to protect both of them, to protect himself, to protect his land that is going to be destroyed really soon by Knuto, and he really has to think about Arnheid and the fact that she's pregnant. I don't think Ketil knows that she's pregnant, but at the same time, Arnheid said, I'm happy that I'm pregnant because Ketil wants this baby. He's really kind to me and to the baby. And I am happy because he will be born in a land full of peace. No! Arnheid, I am sorry to tell you, but I think that the problem that you surpassed in the past is going to represent itself in front of your face, because Knuto, when he will come, he will destroy the farm, or he will destroy the people in that land in order to conquer it. So let me tell you honestly, I don't think that things will get better for the moment, until maybe something is going to change the story itself. But yeah, Arnheid is sure about something that we know already that it's not sure. That's why I liked the contrast of her personality in this episode. At the beginning, she refrains from being helped by Einar for the things that I told you. That's just my opinion, but that's how I felt. At the same time, she preferred the storm to pass, to move forward, and then to let it go, while at the end of the episode we see a resolution of her that it's so inspiring. I think that Sverkel played a great role in this with his background story, and at the same time it helped Arnheid to realize that if you don't move, you later will feel the regret of not being moved. If you don't react to injustices, then you're going to repent yourself for the rest of your life. No matter the fact if you survive or not, but anyway, you will repent. And then if you decide to let the storm pass and to stay away from it, you will never grow. You will never accept pain for what it is, and you will never learn from it. I totally agree. I understand Arnheid for the fact that she's scared to live these kind of things all over again. But on the other side, I wanted to praise Sverkel and what he told her, because it's absolutely true. And I think Sverkel felt this regret till now, till this episode, till the end of his life. And when he was confessing everything that happened, it was like as if it's the last confession before dying. In order to rest in peace, it's better to spit out all the bad things that happened, all the bad things you think you are guilty, because of the way in which you can go and rest in peace. Otherwise, your soul will be condemned or stuck in the place it is by not being free to go. And I think that what Sverkel did was good. It was the proper time to spit out the truth and say what he had done that was so wrong. By analyzing Sverkel for a second, I want to say that when he was narrating his background story, first of all, he took all the responsibility. That's something great, okay? Even if it takes time for you to do so, and even if it takes years and years and years, it's never too late. The most important thing is that you do so. So I want to praise him for this, but at the same time, and also I wanted to praise the moment in which he was saying that men use a woman to survive. These are warriors, because they were warriors too. But these warriors, capitainated by him, I mean, he was the captain of this group of men, decided to use this woman, to sacrifice this woman that was even the girlfriend of Ketil, to survive. And he didn't feel a man, because he felt as if he was not courageous enough to protect that land of his. And he preferred to have an agreement like that. But at the end of the day, not only he feels regretful because that woman died because of his decision, but he feels regretful also for the fact that that woman was the girlfriend of his son. Now his son has that other wife that doesn't represent anything about love, right? So it was a way to condemn his son, as much as Katie is condemning his sons by telling him fake stuff about himself. And now, thanks to all these, I understand even more Ketil's character. Because when he was young, and they preferred to surrender to these opponents, so there was not a rebellious fighting and whatever, he felt a coward. I think that also Sverkel felt really coward for the decision he made, and that's why I think even Ketil decided to create stories about him based on the unsuccessful past that he lived. I mean, he was not able to protect the woman that was supposed to be his girlfriend at that time, and he wants now to have this image of the strongest man ever who fought so greatly. And he convinced his son Torgil about this, but the fragility of his personality is well depicted here. And I also understand one more time why he wants Arnheid to stay, because of the trauma he had of leaving his girlfriend that he really loved behind and know that she was killed. So he doesn't want to get rid of Arnheid, not only because she can understand him, but also because he doesn't want to repeat the same mistake. Because if Arnheid goes away, he doesn't know if she can come back again or she can come and meet him again. That's a trauma. Ketil has a traumatic character. He has lots of insecurities, and you would have never expected this from the beginning when we saw the Master. Do you remember? No, the more we dig inside this character, the more we found such a fragility and insecurity that it's stunning. It's a human. I really like this description. But at the same time, Sverkel too seemed to be so resolute with Thorfinn and Einar at the beginning, do this, do that, etc, etc, etc. I think the rudeness of his personality came out or changed inside himself the more he went on living, because now we understand why he wants to die in his land. Now we understand the attachment to his land, because in the past he made the wrong decision, left the land that he had thanks to that compromise and thanks to the sacrifice that was made of that woman. All the regrets that are making all these characters so human. Yeah, what he told Arnheid at the end means everything. That means you can stay here and wait that the storm goes away. But the more you stay here, the more the scars will appear on your soul. And those scars, even if they are invisible, they will never fade away. You will always coexist with them. And that's why I said, Sverkel, you should talk to Knuto too, because Knuto has the same exact issue. And he's not figuring it out right now, because it's too early. If we could predict our instinct and our initial thoughts when we make a decision, wow, we would be so powerful, let me tell you. And I don't think it's possible, but there are certain things that we should prevent, and we know we can prevent them. somehow, but the attraction and the temptation that we feel seems to be unstoppable, seems to be unbearable, and we are just the victims of all these. Even if sometimes you can rebel, because who said that we can't? We can, but the problem is that we don't want. That's the real thing. It's not just a matter of we can or we can't, it's we want or we don't want. And when we don't want, then there's no excuse. Look at Thorfinn. Thorfinn, if he wanted, he changed. Look at Einar. He could have continued with this revenge about what happened to his family, yeah? He could have strangled Thorfinn for real, once for all. But he didn't do that. So, if you don't want, you can. Sverkel gave her the right advice. Follow your instinct, but think also about what you're going to lose, because she's pregnant, so she's going probably to lose the child in the case that she's involved into a fighting while she's trying to help her husband. And if she's perfectly aware of all these, and then she keeps moving forward saying that she wants to protect her husband, and then she's ready to go. But she has to pay attention on all the consequences. And anyway, I totally agree with the Sverkel. It's better to act instead of sit down and see, passively speaking, life that moves on in front of your eyes. No, we are not supposed to accept everything that it's put in front of us. We should react if we find those things improper, if we can detect injustices, if we don't stand something. If you can't stand to be a slave and stay there without saying anything, without imposing yourself, react. And that's what she wants to do. The reason why she wants to do this is because in that dark scene, she remembered her son screaming and go away while she was also screaming. And that feeling was so terrible that now that she has lost her first child, she doesn't want to lose her husband. Because even if she can't recognize him, that's anyway her husband. And just because he gave rid of them, she doesn't want to get rid of him. Because if she is going to get rid of him, she's going to repeat the same mistake he made. That's why, after all these considerations, I want to say that Arnheid is pretty strong as a character. She is fragile in the moment that she needs to regain her strength, but I liked the way in which she opened the door and she went outside. And even when she says, I will be back soon, I am afraid. I am really afraid that something bad is going to happen to her, but the resilience that she had when she said something like this made me understood how courageous she was in that moment. And Sverkel let her go because he understands his mistakes and what is the right thing to do when it's better if you don't stop. It's better if you don't act passively speaking in front of the situation you're in. Sverkel, if he could go back in time, he would have stopped that. I mean, he would have said, no, we don't need this agreement, we fight for our land, and we protect our land, and that's it. At least he had the chance to clean his consciousness before dying, and I think that this is something really, really awesome. Yeah, I think that I told you everything that I needed to say, but yeah, I really liked this episode because it's called Freedom. And even if Arnheid is not free, because she's a slave, in the moment that she opened the door and she decided what to do, she was free. There was no slavery involved, and it was a determined conclusion of her thoughts. She doesn't want nor to lose her new child, nor to lose her husband. And in fact, I wanted to see what's going to happen now. But I also can't wait to see Ketil back. because Ketil has to solve lots of problems, coming one after the other one. See, it's exactly like a storm. Everything is peaceful and quiet, and then when the storm comes, it's destroying everything and turning everything upside down in a few minutes. And that's what's happening, actually. Okay, guys, I think that I told you everything so far. Thank you so much for the support. Keep subscribing to the channel and click on the notification bell. And see you next time with episode 15 of Vinland Saga Season 2. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep subscribing and thank you for the support. Bye, guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye.